Alright guys, Tom Lawrence here from highlyeffectiveleader.com. Highly effective leaders know the leadership process. They know how to take their team through this process, and they know that the process is slow. To take each individual member of your team through this process, you must understand them and respect them. In the company you currently work with, or the business that you run, do you get buy-in from your people when you implement new change or new ideas? If you do, then well done and keep going. If you don't, do you know why? Or are you still trying to figure out why? The answer to this is your people do not feel that you or your leaders respect them. And when I say respect, I don't mean letting them be involved in projects outside of their day-to-day operations. I don't mean giving them a twice-a-year objective review and then giving them a 2% pay rise. That is not respecting your people. When leaders are giving 2% pay rises and allowing their team members to work on different projects, they are doing their best to keep their people happy. They are trying their hardest to stop their people from leaving the company. Highly effective leaders and companies that are led by highly effective leaders do something different. They respect their people wholeheartedly. How do they do this? Well, when it comes to improving policies, procedures, and processes, they listen to their people's ideas first. They take them on board and try to implement the best ones. But most of all, they show their people respect by deliberately developing them and helping them in their personal growth. So when you go back to work and you're with your team, what are you going to focus on? Are you going to focus on how to get better results? Are you going to focus on the numbers? Are you going to focus on how to make your leaders happier? Or are you going to focus on having respect for your people? The decision is yours, and I hope you make the right one for you, your team, and your organization. My old engineering director was a leader that respected his people. He respected me by deliberately developing me. So from that development and respect, how did I repay him? I worked a lot harder to get the best results on my projects. I went the extra mile by working more hours. I helped out with projects outside of my area. I did what I could to help him and the team when developing others. So when you focus on developing your people and showing them the respect they deserve, your people will start to feel different. When they feel different about you and the organization, they will go the extra mile. They will do their best to improve results in their area of the business. They will do their best to help others where they can. They will talk about you and the organization they work with in a more positive way. They will live and share the values that you have shared with them. In other words, you will have put them on the right path to becoming leaders. However, even though these things sound great, and these changes can and will happen, be extremely careful not to go about developing your people in the wrong way. By that I mean, make sure you focus on the person or people. Do not focus on the result of going the extra mile or more productivity. These results are a natural reaction and byproduct from the development work you do with your people. Like I said earlier, leadership is not a race. It will not happen overnight. It is a slow process and it is a lifelong journey. Do not carry out development to your people. Carry out development with your people. Your people will know the difference between having development done to them and having development for them. The feelings of both are much different. When people feel that you are carrying out development work to them, the natural reaction or byproduct of that is negativity or refusal to accept what you think you're trying to do. Some people can react with hostility. For example, a colleague of mine in 2001 actually headbutted his line manager because he felt manipulated. He was fired on the spot, as you can imagine. Another example is when I went on a 3-day leadership course in 2009. When we were on the course, we felt motivated. Everything sounded great, even though it wasn't. and after 3 days, we were new leaders. But that couldn't have been further from the truth. The day we set foot back into the maintenance depot, everything went back to the way it was. So why was that? We didn't sustain the motivation, and we were not encouraged by our leaders to implement any new ideas. Even the leaders went back to the way things were. So what a total waste of time and money. Our leaders didn't realize that when you learn something new and are motivated by it, you have to keep working at it. They thought that now that the 3 days are over, these new skills we have learned will naturally happen to us. No, we needed to keep working at them and on them every single day. We needed to work on ourselves with purpose every single day. Those leaders in 2009 were low-performing leaders and had a lot to learn if they were to ever become highly effective leaders. Low-performing leaders have the exact same mentality as low-performing team members. They will do just the bare minimum required so that they can satisfy their boss and ensure that they have a job the next day. I don't know about you, but that is very sad and totally unfair on the team that they are leading. Their people only follow them because they have to, not because they want to. Highly effective leaders show their team respect. They develop their team correctly, and they also encourage their team to work on themselves every single day. If they send their team on a 3-day course, when the team come back, the leader will sit with each individual and discuss. Then they will help each individual develop a daily action plan so that they can work on their newly found skills and keep developing them with purpose. Their team members follow them because they want to. They show their leader respect because they feel respected by their leader. The leader and the team work together to help themselves and the team succeed. I have always done my best to help develop my teams and the people who I mentor in the area of leadership and personal growth. I have either taught the principles myself, introduced them to books that they can learn from, videos on YouTube, or any other materials, so that they can use these materials to work on themselves every day and develop. For you to become a highly effective leader, you must go beyond showing your team the ropes to get the job done. You must go beyond the 2% pay rise or the offer of working on different projects. You must show them the respect by helping them to develop. Or any team you lead in the future, accept the responsibility for being the person that is going to help your people grow and develop. This might seem strange to you, but I started taking some of the teams I worked with through a leadership mastermind group. The topic to be discussed in the mastermind group was a book called The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, written by John Maxwell. Each law will help you in whatever situation you come by on your leadership journey. I would strongly recommend on you getting a copy of this book. During the mastermind group, everybody on the team went and read the book first, and then when we came together, we discussed it at one mastermind. Then following our mastermind, we actually came out of it feeling like we were better people. We actually turned some of the laws into our own team values that we lived every day. So is this something that you think you could do with your team? Having respect for your people is taking your people through the slow process of leadership and personal growth. It is not something to do with them quickly, just so you can say that you have developed your people and you will get a pat on the back. Do not fall into that trap. Have respect for your people, develop them, care for them, and they will do the same for you. Leadership and personal growth do not have a stopping point. Nobody in the world is a complete master of leadership. It is an ever-changing process. So what worked well for you last year in your team may not work well as now. So we need to be constantly working on ourselves and developing our teams to maintain and exceed our current level. So action steps that I would like you to complete following this video. Number 1, show your team respect when you are developing them. When you show your team respect, they will in turn respect you back. Showing them respect will build on the trust you already have with them, will strengthen the relationships you already have with them, and will increase the influence you already have with them. When your team feel respected by you, they are far more likely to buy into any new change you want to lead, and they are far more likely to go the extra mile for you, the team, and the organization. Number 2, understand the leadership process. As we've discussed in detail, leadership is not a race, it is not a sprint, and it is not a marathon. It is a lifelong journey for all of us. We will be working on our leadership and our personal growth for the rest of our lives, and the process is slow. It is not something that we can see amazing results from overnight. So we need to get used to the fact that this is a long process, and we need to ensure our teams and our people understand this process too. And number 3, accept the responsibility for your team's personal growth and development. In the last video, we discussed sharing responsibility with our team when it came to delegating tasks. But when it comes to the development and personal growth of your team, then you have the responsibility. It is a highly effective leader's role to create the environment that focuses on their people and helps them to learn to lead, grow, and increase their influence for the good of us. Can you do that for your people right now? I believe you can. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep learning more strategies on leadership, personal growth, and influence that will benefit you in both your personal and professional life. Connect with me on my other social media channels too to keep in contact and up to date on what I am doing. And please visit my website, highlyeffectiveleader.com, to learn even more valuable strategies in the area of leadership, personal growth, and how you can increase your influence. Please download my free ebook, Inspire Your People, by clicking the link in the description below this video.